Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder aboard the glorious VBCI-2 MTC-30, and that is a quote-unquote new French premium light tank, aka wheeled vehicle, at battle rating 9.0 and rank 6, and it shares the rank and the battle rating with the existing premium MX-30 Super, which complement each other very well. The VBC-2 has certain characteristics that are somewhat typical for wheeled vehicles, and we'll talk about this later. It is equipped with a 30mm Bushmaster 2 Mark 44, 450 rounds in total, and the clips have 75 rounds in total. And you also have a top-mounted heavy machine gun, a 50 cal, with 2000 rounds of ammo. The turret is empty and the 3 crew members are all positioned in the hull. The hull is relatively massive, but the rear half of the tank, aside for the ammo racks that are near the turret ring, which is by the way massive, is completely empty. So you can reverse out of cover and eat an APFSDS, and as long as it doesn't really hit the transmission, it doesn't do any damage. You're obviously not safe from overpressure if somebody fires big mean HE at you, but you know, that's just the thing. The 50 cal is very high on top, and you can use it obviously to peek ridge lines, which is really well in detecting the enemy. As a light tank, you obviously can scout them, mark them for your team, and give your team a decisive intelligence advantage. Intelligence in the sense that there are red pulsating bobs on the minimap. Doesn't mean your team members look at the minimap, but again, a different question. The next thing is the gun and its gun handling. You have 60 degrees per second vertical and horizontal turret or gun rotation speed. You have really good thermal imaging. The magnification is really good from ×2 to ×8. The tank has also 10 degrees of gun depression and 45 degrees of gun elevation, which means you can threaten helicopters. However, the APFSDS that fire constantly has damage problems outputs versus helicopters in particular. I have so much footage, especially in one battle where 4 helicopters ran into our team. I hit them all, I killed none of them, only got kill assisted. So the MK258 APFSDS has 116 millimeters of penetration and goes at 1430 meters per second muzzle velocity. But at range, it kind of lacks the penetration power and the post-penetration damage effect from a full 105mm, for instance, and that is obviously to be expected. But the rate of fire of 200 rounds per minute kind of makes up for it. It's an autogun, and I love it. And the 50 cal, complementing it, is really good also in confusing enemies and threatening helicopters as well. Let's talk about the mobility. For the 32-ton tank, we have 600 horsepower. Horsepower to ton ratio is just below 20, but on a paved road, you can achieve a top speed of 100 kilometers per hour, and in reverse of still 36 kilometers per hour. But in typical armored car fashion, it lacks the grunt in the engine. You have piss poor traction, especially on slopes, and yeah, the tank just sometimes on medium terrain doesn't want to really accelerate. On hard terrain or paved roads, you can get the thing really going, but sometimes you just think that you just have no grunt in the engine. The marking or the spotting mechanic also is unreliable sometimes, and it's this battle that I wanted to show you, that because this was best performance that I could get in one single video, and I liked overall the showcase of what you can do with this tank. Have patience, wait for the enemies to make mistakes, use the high mobility, the autocannon, etc. in early engagements wisely. It serves you well. Overall, you have enough ammunition capacity, although the reload on the clips is quite substantial and therefore should be used accordingly. one thing about the crew placement. All the 3 crew members are in the hull, so none is really in the turret. But there is this horizontal aiming drive, and if you look at it in the X-ray, it's massive. It's a huge disc, and if it gets damaged, it apparently also damages not just the horizontal but also the vertical drive. And that is annoying because that killed me quite often. And it's also easily hit even by fragments. So this is an unusual design, I would say. The vehicle is also massive, and if you look at it from the side, the rear half is completely empty. So unless the enemy shoots you in the transmission with a dart, you can just get out of cover and bait a shot. And while I haven't done this very often, it's a tactics for people that would embrace this, just like with the Ka-Chi, the 2.0 Japanese event vehicle from the Summer Landing 2021. And yeah, you still can get killed by overpressure. What I also like is the thing that you have here 2 premiums with the same battle rating, making some sort of miniature lineup, and the 2 vehicles complement each other, unlike in other tech trees where this is just a better version or a more modern thing at a higher or lower battle rating. So you have your miniature lineup for the French tech tree, and there is quite a bit to research. I was quite successful with the VBCI-2 to get overall RP and some grind going. Again, I haven't played tank ground forces in quite a while. Still have to get grip with the overall things. As you can see me dancing here around with the steering, facing a little bit through the terrain. You know, just work on the things. And yeah, I really enjoy this thing. I'd wish it had a better stock camouflage and some camouflage at all to choose from. But you know, that's just what it is. I think at this battle rating, the autocannon is especially interesting because of a lot of tanks not having enough armor to withstand this, even from the front. And also when you snipe helicopters like this, oh, I pay for that, quite literally with the premium. So yeah, I like the tank. It was a good premium to get back into tanks and back into the grind. I'd wish the APFSDS would do more damage to helicopters in particular, unless you hit the pilot, then it's 100% damage. One thing that I really noticed and that really should be brought home, again, you have a little bit of a technological jump. You have a laser warning receiver and a laser rangefinder, and they work really well. Sometimes it's not obvious that you actually do laser range finding because the green bar sometimes just doesn't show up. I don't know if this is intentional or a bug or if there is a bigger story behind it, but sometimes it does not work. But it's amazing how often at this battle rating I got laser range finded, I got the warning, and I had no idea that somebody spotted me. I don't know if it was just an accidental brushing over my overall silhouette or something, but it was just a real help. And especially for new players at top tier, this is a big help, and something that the MX-30 Super doesn't have. So we have great magnification, we have great thermal imaging, we have the laser warning receiver, we have a great anti-everything 30mm autocannon with both HE and APFSDS, although the switching of the belts is too long in my opinion. But it just works, and you can make this thing work in both active and passive fashion, or attack and defense if you will. And also when you snipe jets like this, oh, so good. I hate everything that flies. Oh, so good. Yes, it's not a 5-inch 38 to all my naval players, but I love it nonetheless. I dare to say I had fun. I dare to say I enjoyed myself playing this tank. Give it a little bit of patience. Just don't go head into the enemy. learn it a little bit. Give it a go. It's a premium that I would recommend in the greater scheme of things if you're interested in the French tech tree at all. It's a good learner. It's a good teacher. It's a good tank for a premium lineup, if you will. And I was also really, for the first time, really experiencing the economy changes in tanks, and they are there. They are substantial. It's the first time that I noticed a significant change in the civil line amount before and after battle compared to, playing in the old meta or the old economy, if you will. So overall, nothing that I can say about this tank that is bad. Obviously, if you play it wrong, you get punished. Obviously, if you do dumb shit, you get punished. But the tank offers many things that you can combine on different settings. It's good with its gun handling in city fights. It has on large maps the mobility to move to places. You can bait enemy shots in the right circumstances, especially versus players that just don't know that, the rear half of your tank is just basically empty. And the only thing that you have to watch out for is the driving gear. So I hope you enjoyed this first impression style video. I hope that you accept that I said that I cannot really give you a full picture of this tank because I haven't played tanks in a long time and I have to get back into it. I still have to figure out the issue with the recording thing, but that is for a change, I think, not Gaijin's fault. So, the VBCI-2, great premium, I liked it, and also threatening flying things as well. It's just fantastic. So let me know your experience fighting this thing, fighting with it, and give this video a like if it did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the waves in the skies and on the battlefields of War Thunder.